What's up, guys? We're back with another Music Gear Monday. I'm Carl Carell, and today we're going to unbox a CDJ3000 and get it set up to play on. Quick helpful tips for all you guys just getting your 3000s or just getting into CDJs. This may be helpful to you. Shout out to our sponsors today, Crate Connect Digital Record Pool, providing tons of new music, new releases, hundreds of different genres and chart-topping hits, everything and anything, instrumentals, acapellas, Latin, moombahton, techno, dance hall, even country music. So if you're a DJ and you want to spruce up your music library, this is a great tool to utilize. The price is just right with different options from 30 days, 90 days, and 180 days. With high resolution audio, this is a great option for anybody wanting to expand their DJ library. They even have a clothing shop. This one's my favorite. Make sure to hop on over, check out Crate Connect. I will be putting a link in the description below, which will include a discounted price. So make sure to hop on that while it lasts. I put an order in for CDJ3000s about a year ago, and they finally came after reordering them through my guys over at Mile High DJ Supply. Put a link in the description below. You can check them out if you are in the Denver area. But yeah, this is a little unbox action. Gigantic box. Let's see if we can get this guy out of here. This is the CDJ3000. Let's see what else is in the box. So when you pay that premium price of a CDJ3000, what exactly does it come with? An unboxing experience like no other. All right, so we have a locking power cable. So this guy has a little locking mechanism. That makes it good so that nobody can unplug or trip over your cable. We have a little data cable. We have RCA cables. And we have a digital audio cable. And a user's guide, which will probably come in handy. All those little hidden features this thing's gonna have. All right, so we have our CDJ3000. Gigantic screen on the platter. Smooth jog wheel. This jog wheel is so damn smooth. I did a whole overview of this actual unit in Alpine White in a previous video, so make sure to check that out. But this is what we have. Nothing too crazy. So I hear that you should leave this uncovered so there's better airflow to the CDJs, because these tend to heat up. So if you're playing somewhere that's already hot, I guess these things heat up and they can go, or actually I think it's 100 degrees or something like, I forgot. I'll have to put that, I'll put that on the screen somewhere. But these things are rated to play in you know, higher stress than a laptop. And that's kind of why a lot of places are going this direction. We have our CDJ3000. So we have the actual CDJ unit, you have a power cable, and you have your instructions, RCA, and data cable. Data cable allows you to plug this guy into the other unit. This cable allows you to plug digital in, so if you have 900 series mixer, you have a little digital audio in that allow you to cue and listen to your tracks or preview your tracks before you play them. So if you can, read through the instruction manual. It's going to show you a lot of the features and different things that you could take advantage of with your units. And again, these units are made to be used with your thumb drive. You plug in, you organize your music through Rekordbox, and then you plug in and you're good to go. So make sure you download Rekordbox, all of your information, instructional stuff here, And that's pretty much it. That's what comes in the CDJ unit. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna plug this guy into a mixer, and we're going to see if we need to update any of the firmware and see what we need to hop in and start using these guys. So now what we're gonna do is plug into a mixer, and we are going to update this guy if it needs to update the firmware, and we're gonna see what else we need to start playing on these guys right away. All right, so I have my DJM-S11 connected to the CDJ3000. Typically, a lot of people that use the 3000s you see with the 900 series mixers, those have just been used in the clubs for really, really long. I like the S11 because it works directly with Serato, it works with Rekordbox, so it works with a plethora of different softwares, and that was one of the features that I did like. And I do like having the cues and different things on the actual mixer. If you're using Serato or using Rekordbox and being able to scroll through on this mixer when you don't have CDJs and you're just using turntables, it's a good option to have if you want to use both. This is a good mixer to have to be able to do that with as well. And it's just a fun mixer to play on. If you used any of the S9 or S11 or S7 series mixers, these things are really, really fun to play on. We've got this guy plugged in. We're gonna power it on, and we're gonna see what else we need to get rolling on our CDJs. So one thing you do have to do is plug this data cable in. If you're using another CDJ on the side, you're gonna want to link both of those up with this data cable here so they could talk to each other. You have RCA cables, and you're going to want to use these RCA cables to plug your CDJ into your mixer. Whatever mixer you have, typically you have a line input on the back, and in that line input, usually red at the bottom, white at the top. Same thing with your CDJ. You're going to be looking at your outputs here, so you're going to go left and right, and then that digital out is this cable here. That's what you're going to plug into for that preview track, which the S11 doesn't have. That's something that is built into the 900 series mixers. So that's one benefit to getting one of those 900 series mixers. Right off the bat, we are loaded up. This guy is already running. And again, it's built for Rekordbox. Now that we know this guy works, I'm gonna go ahead and power this guy off. And then what we're going to do is put it into firmware update mode. We downloaded the current version of CDJ firmware and put it on a thumb drive. Make sure your thumb drive is formatted in a FAT32. You can do that by going into your disk utilities if you're on Mac, formatting in FAT32. If you're already using a PC, then you shouldn't have to worry about that too much if you've already formatted that thumb drive for your PC. What we're gonna do is put this CDJ into firmware mode. We are going to power this guy on. We're gonna hold down in/Q and the reloop button. So once we do that, hold those two down. I'm gonna go ahead and update both of them just to get it knocked out. If you're just getting your CDJs, chances are you're probably gonna need to do a firmware update, and this is what that firmware update looks like. 2.02 is the latest out. If you're watching this, it is May 2022. And this is what it looks like. So after you plug that in, putting your firmware, it says firmware update is complete. Turn off before using. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna power it off. We're gonna pull this. If you need to update any of your other CDJs, 3000s, you know, you could use the same thumb drive, just plug it in once you put it into update mode. Once it's updated though, you should be good to go. We should see it boot up and load into the new firmware. And once it loads into the new firmware, this is kind of what it looks like. Pretty much the same, just updating internals. Back to our standard screen, we're gonna plug this USB stick in on the top left side here, and we're gonna hit source. You're gonna see your device. You're gonna go ahead and tap that device, and you should see all of your tracks. And again, it's gonna show you that waveform. So if I pull up this Donna Summers here, you can actually zoom in and scroll. And I think I did a video on this last time to show you what that does. But that's pretty much set up to play on now. Once you update that firmware, and even if you don't update the firmware, it's ready to play. With the firmware, you get the latest to date for anybody to play on. Now that we have our CDJs plugged in, they're both updated to the firmware. We're gonna look at what it looks like to use them with Serato. Say if you have somebody who wants to hop on with you at a party and you have a mixer that is capable of doing so, like the S11 or the S9. I am going to show you how to do that. All right, to use these guys in controller mode, you're gonna want to have a laptop, a couple of USB cables, one USB cable going to your laptop, a USB hub if you don't have an S11 or a rain mixer that has a USB hub built into it. You're gonna wanna have a USB hub to be able to plug both CDJs in to your computer. On the back of both of these CDJs, you have a USB connector. You're gonna wanna connect that USB there. And then the great thing on a lot of these newer mixers is you're starting to see them come with these USB hubs on the back. So what I could do is connect that CDJ into this mixer, and that becomes an active USB hub that allows that data to go to the computer. And you're gonna wanna do that for both sides. Make sure you plug in a USB on both sides, and you are good to go from there. Now we're gonna plug our mixer into our laptop. So after you plug both CDJs into a USB hub, which I'm using my mixer as a USB hub, you're gonna plug that into your laptop. After plugging your CDJs into the computer, you should see an option for controller mode. You're going to tap controller mode, and then you're gonna wanna tap the rotary knob. That's gonna get you into controller mode on each unit. And you should see player 1 and player 2. I know you can't see this screen because of the glare, but you could see this guy's player 1, the other guy says player 2. Once you're plugged in Serato, you should see the logo pop up. You're gonna wanna select deck 1 or deck 2, deck 3 or deck 4. You could select deck 1 on this side. You could select deck 2 on this side. Obviously, that's all you're gonna have left. And now you could see your entire music library from Serato. So when you load something up, it's gonna load that waveform. You can use the CDJ to, cut, scratch, whatever. You will have all your cues. So you'll have your cues built in just like on a controller up top here. You can still loop in and out. You should be able to do a lot of the stuff that you could do on a controller in controller mode. So if you wanna go crazy with that, you definitely can. The other thing is that if you're using controller mode with Serato, the main thing you have to do is use it in internal, just like if you were plugged into a controller. You don't have to have it on CDJ or line input if you're using it in controller mode. Yeah, other than that, that is pretty much set up and ready to go. These guys are pretty easy and intuitive as far as setting up goes. There are a ton of tips and tricks that we'll get into later on this channel into the CDJs. It's good to be able to know how to play on multiple setups just in case you want to hop in and have some fun. Again, I still love my Techniques. Technique just dropped their anniversary edition. Super dope, different colors. Good luck trying to get them. I play a ton of records still. I love technology, as you know, so I had to get my hands on a pair of these. And now that I got them, we're gonna explore a little more, and we're gonna see, what we could do with these guys and have some fun. So what do you guys think of the 3000s? If you have any questions about them, put them in the comments below. I'll be making some more videos about these guys very soon. That's gonna be it for Music Gear Monday today. I'm Carl Carell. Catch you guys here next week. Peace.